This is an Akai VX90. This one's come to me with no sound out. It does power on though, and it does receive MIDI. I've been testing it, make sure that it's getting MIDI from the trusty Micro Freak. Now I know that the power supply unit gets really hot, as I saw, well, smoke on the underside of the case. The little particles, you know, they come off. They're not just heat discoloration. Well, maybe they still are, but there's some stuff going on. You can see around these heat sinks. Get a light on there. See this better. There's some. It might be too bright. Well, the circuit board is discolored around them. That's probably not surprising. It's, you know, an older piece of gear. So we've got a board over here, all kinds of microprocessor controller chips. We've got a, there's a, probably that would be the firmware chip there. See the version number on it, 1.2 alpha. So you're going to have various memory chips in here. There's some, as I said, microprocessors. Then you have the voice board. This is loaded up with CEM3394 chips, those 6 chips across the middle. Standard, you know, control panel in the front. Control panel cable from the buttons in the front goes into the microprocessor board. Then this is the display cable, okay, goes into this little display module here. Can't really see it too well, but it's in there. And this little guy, I think, this little black and red cable there, that would be the backlight power cable. So this board here is chorus and maybe the amp section is on here as well. I'm not sure yet, but pretty sure chorus is. So it generates, gets your audio out, and then it goes out the back, and then it also goes to the front where you have the volume controls, and then drops down as well into these front outputs. So you have front and rear outputs for sound on this. This also has a cassette tape interface. So you see the tape in and out. That sends an audio, like frequency shift key modulation signal. You can actually record that directly into a computer. You don't need to record it to a cassette tape. You could just record it to a computer, you know, like using Audacity, and then also play it back into this keyboard. So you can save all your samples that way. Very handy. I've done that with the Akai AX60, and you know, works the same way, same technology. Okay, so just having a general look around. There's a lot of different voltages in this synthesizer, and I know it's been partially repaired. So the power supply caps, I think maybe all of them have been replaced. Especially, see these marks. Somebody put marks, little blue Sharpie marks on these. I'm hoping that means that they were the ones that were replaced. I've got to check the voltages, especially these power transformers. So anything attached to a heat sink, you know, is some kind of power transformer pretty much in this guy. There's plus or minus 15, plus or minus 6, plus or minus 5. So there's a lot going on to make the analog and digital side of this work. So you'll have maybe different voltages needed for some of these analog chips over here, or sorry, the analog chips here versus the digital chips here. That's kind of the usual thing you see in mid-1980s synths. It's the same story in the Roland JX8P, for example. I think the JX3P will probably be about the same as well, since it also has a processor in it. So let's see, a lot of cables running around. mostly what I'm just going to do now is power it up and then just start taking readings. I'm going to take, like, I'm going to do like back pin readings, I think is kind of what you call it, where you can insert your probe for your multimeter into the back of these sockets. So I'm not going to unplug anything. I'm just going to insert right in and just take a good look at all the voltages. I'm looking at these fuses right now because something silly happened. The repair tech had everything working, went back, replaced some more caps, I don't know which ones, worked on the backlight, and then it didn't work anymore afterwards. So it was fixed, then some more repair done, then it broke. So now it's in my hands to try to figure out exactly what's gone wrong here. So here we go.